These four things I know are true. We didn't overrate the T-Wolves. We just underestimated the Kings. Barry Bonds doesn't overstate the truth. He avoids it. You can't underestimate the foolishness of putting ads on the bases in the major leagues. And I'm Tony Reale. The answer to who's on first is not Tobey Maguire.
It's Around the Horn, the show of competitive banter. Here's Tony Reale.
Welcome back to the show where the 5th of May is always called Cinco de Mayo. Today we're talking how the Lakers must win, how the Rams must be crazy, and how the Phillies must stop stinking. All with our national panel, and here they are. At the Denver Post, it's Woody Page.
Good afternoon, Minchie.
Happy Cinco de Mayo, Woody. At the Dallas Morning News, it's Tim Calishaw.
I gave you Calgary over Detroit. I want a point for that.
When you're begging for points, you lose points. At the Chicago Sun-Times, it's Jay Mariotti.
I want to take this time to say you're doing a very good job in the show, and I mean it. I think we should all...
And then you are kissing butts, so you get muted. And at the Boston Globe, it's Jackie McMullen.
I would just like to say, why does Jay always start the show that way and think it's going to help him?
Absolutely, and that's going to help you, Jackie McMullen. All right, guys, let's make it happen.
It's the first word.
And the first words are, it's good to be the Kings. As first reported on a show of competitive banter on Tuesday, Mike Bibby and Sam Cassell was, in fact, the key matchup in Game 1 of the West Semis. While Cassell carried the Wolves with 40 points, including 7 threes, it was Bibby's 33 points that led Sacramento to a 104-98 victory. Mr. MVP Kevin Garnett, he racked up 18 boards and 7 assists, but was 6 of 21 from the field for a quiet 16 points. The story, though, is Sacramento. Have we underestimated the Kings' potential to win it all? What do you say? Around the horn, Woody Page.
Just overestimated, in fact, the potential of the Minnesota Timberwolves to win it all. I've been telling you guys that. They've got a shortened bench with the loss of Skrbiak, and it's great for a visiting team to steal the first one. That's exactly what Sacramento did. They got Brad Miller and Chris Webber that have combined, and at least they're slowing down the most valuable player in the league. I've got my blackboard here.
Here we go again.
The motion offense requires lateral movement, and that's what you've got here. You've got the Sacramento Kings working around.
Tim Calishaw.
This show is starting off with lateral movement. Good point on Skrbiak, though. I like that one. Yes, I think we do underestimate Sacramento for this reason. They're not as fun to watch. They don't have Bobby Jackson. Chris Webber can't explode, so they're not as exciting in the open court, but they're a good half-court team. They play better defense than people realize. Dallas shot below 40% in that series. They know how to win close games. So, you know, we should keep them in mind. That they
now, what we're doing is overestimating Garnett's supporting cast. I mean, who are these guys? They're going to have open shots because Sacramento is throwing 2 and 3 guys at Garnett very wisely. So where are you, Latrell Sprewell? I mean, Trenton Hassel is going to save the game for you. Cassell showed up. Sprewell's got to show up here. Remember, Tony, Minnesota won 2 games this year at Arco. Nobody else did that. This is going to be a 7-game series. Minnesota will still win, but the supporting cast has to show up.
All right, Jackie,
Hey, Jay, by the way, Trenton Hassel's a lot better than you think. Let's start with that. And number 2, Latrell Sprewell will show up. He just can't show up every night. In my mind, this game went exactly the way you would expect it to go. The Sacramento Kings have been there before, and you're right. Chris Webber is playing on one leg, but even on one leg, he's going to get you 10 rebounds a night. And when you look at this team, Mike Bibby might be one of the smartest players in the NBA still playing right now. Anybody that bets against him is crazy.
So handicap the series, Jackie. Who do you have winning it?
I think the Sacramento Kings are going to win.
So you do have the Kings.
No,
I do have the Kings, and I had them all along. But having said that, just because they went into Minnesota 1 game doesn't mean you hand the series over to them. Garnett's too good.
I still think Minnesota wins the series. Sacramento has one huge weakness. They can't rebound. Dallas puts them on the boards. Minnesota will
Nobody's paying attention to Doug Christie, and I think he's going to be the unsung hero in this entire series with the way he plays defense.
Jay, we got to go. Okay, both of you guys hold it for a second, and we got to know this. First time they're ever to the first round, the T-Wolves, they seem like they're content with that, and you can't win a championship if you're content with just getting out of the first round. Let's move on. Throw a few New York media mic flags in Barry Bonds' face, and it turns into a Dr. Phil session. An introspective Bond spent 45 minutes getting real with the media on Tuesday night. Among the topics, the possibility of retirement after 2005. Quote, I want to leave, I want to do something else, end quote. That's what Bond said. He plays dodgeball when asked about Balco, and he added, half the stuff I say, I don't believe. So, guys, do you believe what Bonds had to say Tuesday night around the horn to Jackie McMullen?
Well, I don't believe half the stuff he says either, but I will tell you this. I think he believes what he's saying right now. I was there with Barry Bonds when he showed up at spring training, and you know what? He is tired. He's tired of all the scrutiny. And let's face it, if there is a chance that he might have been on some kind of juice or something, and he isn't now, you know he's not going to hit as many home runs anyway. And this guy does not care about the history of the game. He never has, and I don't think he ever will.
Jackie, just a month ago, he said he wanted the home run record. Now he says he doesn't. Now he says he doesn't believe half of what he says. I'm confused. If people out there are wondering why they don't like Barry Bonds, well, here's your reason right here. He's playing with your mind here. This is a very important record, and Henry Aaron was a regal figure in baseball history. He's toying around with this. Tell us, Barry, do you want the record or not? Stop playing around with the media. You're playing around with the fans.
I agree with Jackie. I think for sure he believes it. I think another year after this season will be enough. You know, some people are wired differently. Barry Sanders didn't care about breaking the rushing record. He could have had it. He walked away. You know, Barry Bonds also is smart, and he knows the more home runs he hits, instead of accolades, he just gets more scrutiny. And you know, there's not a lot of fun in that. Plus, he plays on a very bad team right now.
That nobody is investigating him. Where has he been for the last year and a half? Of course, the federal government has been investigating him. Major League Baseball, who else does he want to investigate him? The phone company? Do I believe him? I hope he is telling us the truth. Quit. I hope so. Here's a guy, when I interviewed him early on in his career with Pittsburgh, he said when he was a kid, he paid no attention to baseball. He has, as Jackie said, no sense of baseball history. He doesn't care about records. He has already talked about Babe Ruth in detrimental ways.
Okay.
He doesn't really care about Hank Aaron.
We need this man to be honest with us. For the first time in his life, be upfront and straight with us about what's going on. Instead, nobody's investigating me. He's in denial.
Jay,
he cannot be in denial at this point in time about
But what do you expect him to say? You're right, I did steroids and I did every other illegal drug I could get my hands on.
All right, I think what the most important thing here is the home run record. Does he care about Hank Aaron's home run record? I don't know if we have an answer to that question because Bonds won't answer it, Tim Calishaw.
He has the single season record. He's going to have 6 MVPs. He has enough stuff. I really don't think he cares that much
we
about
do know, though, is that Hank Aaron's was a sympathetic figure. He was a hero when he was chasing that record. No matter what Bonds does, I can't see that happening. Guys, stick around because buy or sell is next. And coming up, there's a big new contract in St. Louis, and it's a bulger. Did the Rams give Mark too much? Lost. Do Kobe and Shaq and the Lakers have to win tonight in San Antonio to have a chance in the second round?
Buy or sell?
Buy or sell time, here's what we have. Leading off, if Kurt Warner couldn't read the writing on the wall before, the Rams spray painted the message on the bathroom mirror. First, they acquired Chris Chandler. Then they drafted Michigan State quarterback Jeff Smoker. And now, late Tuesday, they signed Warner's successor, Mark Bulger, to a contract extension through 2007 with a $9 million signing bonus. Buy or sell the Rams, locking up Mark Bulger for the next 4 years, Woody?
I'm selling this theory. I don't understand the producers of this show. First they hire him, then they come up with questions like this. This is all about a salary cap issue. It doesn't show any faith or love in Bulger. It's just spreading the money over a period of time. What? They can get rid of him after 1 year, Mariotti.
Producers are in my ear right now. They're telling me to mute you. All right, Calishaw, what do you say?
Good call. I'm buying this. People forget. Everybody remembers the last game. Mark Bulger, in his first real year as a starter, went to the Pro Bowl, got the Rams to the playoffs. He can play a little bit. This is not that big a contract. It's a good move.
Mariotti?
No, I'm selling. Woody, it's a $9 million commitment to a guy that March didn't even have faith in at the end of a playoff game to throw the football. I don't get this thing here. 22 interceptions a year ago. There is a commitment here. March may be gone at the end of the year.
Jackie McMullen.
Hey, I'm buying this. Jay, you know, you may be right about Bulger last year, but the fact of the matter is he's their quarterback. He's who they've got, and they got to show some faith in him. And at the same time, as both Woody and Tim pointed out, if it doesn't work out, slice him, dice him, he's gone.
At the same time, what does this say about Kurt Warner, though? He needs to go somewhere else. There's not a lot of openings.
Chicago.
And how does he... Stop, that's not happening either. Let's move on. Andy Pettit allowed 2 hits and 1 run in 5 innings of good-looking work last night as the first-place Astros knocked off the Pirates. With his strong jaw and dimpled chin and movie star good looks, Pettit has won 2 straight since coming off the DL. But he's been nowhere near as impressive as Roger Clemens. the pitcher of the month for April, looks to get it done in May, and could become the major's first 6-game winner tonight. Guys, buy or sell the Astros pitching staff as the best in baseball, Kalisha.
Tony, I thought you were describing yourself there for strong dimples or whatever the heck you were saying. I'm selling this. I love the Astros as best pitching in the National League. 1 through 12, you got to go with the Boston Red Sox. They're too
I agree. Mariotti?
You have a man crush on Pettit?
Come on, let's go.
All right, listen, I'm going to buy this. You know why? In Boston, Pedro's struggling, Lowe is struggling, great bullpen. Chicago, great starters. What about the bullpen? I'm going to go with the Astros until further notice.
Jackie McMullen.
I'm selling the Astros and I'm buying the Boston Red Sox. As great as Clemens has been, you can't expect him to go on forever like this, and he's only pitching 5 to 6 innings to the game. Meanwhile, the Boston Red Sox, 1 through 5, have great starters. So good that their 5th starter, Rowe, is now in the bullpen. They got Keith Folk as a closer.
That's true.
Williamson, a former closer, as a setup guy. What
Let
else do you
me
want?
hear it, Woody Page.
Until further notice, that means tomorrow, Mariotti. You'll take the other side. I am saying to you that Houston is using Clemens right. 5 and 6 innings. They want him to be fresh later in the season. But I got to sell this. The Chicago Cubs, Mariotti, right there in your backyard. Could go 5 deep as starters once they get their injury problems taken over, and I like that bullpen.
All right, there's no closer there, Woody. Come on, we need to move on. Must-see TV tonight, and we're not talking about the season finale of the OC. Lakers at Spurs, Game 2. LA left town after their Game 1 loss and presumably returned to the Alamo City with a new plan about how to contain Tony Parker, get Shaquille O'Neal more involved in the offense, and keep the defending champs from taking a 2-0 lead. Guys, buy or sell tonight's game is a must-win for the Lakers. Jay Mariotti.
I'm buying because if the Lakers lose, I can see the headlines in the LA Times, impending doom. Phil's future, Shaq's future, Kobe's future. They have to win to stem the tide. Also, Gary Payton, show up tonight.
Jackie Mack.
Hey, I'm selling this. So what? If the Lakers lose this game, they've lost 2 away games. They're down 2-0. Big deal. It happens in the NBA all the time. And you think the Lakers even read the newspapers, Jay? Are you kidding? They've been through this a million times.
They better not be reading the papers. Woody Page.
I agree with Herman's Hermits there. I think that they don't need to win this game. I'm selling this. You've just got to hold serve at home, improve tonight, and make some advancement, and they'll be fine.
Kalisha.
They got to do a lot more than improve. They need to put Carmelo in a time machine and get him back to the age of 30 when he can move. This is a must game. They're not going to win it. They're going to go out in 5 games.
All right, let's move on. Abandoned by their head coach hours before the season, Miami Heat have achieved a revival worthy of the movie Major League. All they need now is Serrano's shrine to Joe Boo in the locker room. Stan Van Gundy's scrappy underdogs may have ended the Tim Floyd era in New Orleans with their Game 7 win last night. Ron Butler had 23, Lamar Odom had 16, and the Heat earned the right to play Indy in the conference semis. Buy or sell the Heat, making it interesting against the Pacers. Jackie Mack.
I'm buying this, and I'll tell you why, Tony. In the past with the Heat, it was Grant and Eddie Jones. They were good players, but they were not franchise players or star players that you could rest your hat on. Now you've got Lamar Odom breaking out, and Dwayne Wade, I'm telling you, the only reason you haven't heard more about him is because LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony were ahead of him. He is a terrific young rookie. He's going to be around for a long, long time.
Woody Page.
I got to tell this. The Heat had a nice little series against the New Orleans Etafes, but now they're going up against the Indiana Pacers. This is 4 and out and back to the beach.
I agree. What do you say, Kalisha?
I am selling this question as not being interesting. When are we going to break down the lightning speed against the size of the...
Oh, here we go again. Kalisha, get out of here. Mariotti.
I'll bring some order to the court. You got to sell this thing. The Heat were extended 7 games. They're exhausted. Wade said it. Number 2, who's going to stop Jermaine O'Neal? Number 3, the Pacers. 11 days of rest here. This is going to be a sweep. Mark my words.
All right, elimination time. Hey, Kalisha, think of it this way. Now you can go home and get ready for the NHL playoffs. See you later. Rest of you guys remain seated because coming up, A-Rod got number 350 in season 10 last night. Have there ever been 10 years of more renown? Hit me with it. All right, around the horn, we're at the 2 rounds here. As they stand, Jay Mariotti is 22. Drink up, Jay. Jackie McMullen is 24. Woody Page, are you kidding me? There's no pictures in that.
Yeah,
you got 21 points.
Falstaff is just a beer.
Tim Kalishaw has a 12-foot putt for double bogey in the 3rd hole. Slacker.
Right now, Richard
Leading off, as Olympic organizers prepare to start the 100-day countdown to the Athens Games, The city was rocked this morning by 3 bombs planted near police headquarters by an unidentified terrorist group. Preparations for the Athens Olympics have been rife with concerns about the readiness of both facilities and security. So as journalists and potential correspondents from Athens, how concerned are you about this whole situation? Woody Page, you're going.
Yes, I will be there. A couple years ago, I was in Athens, and I was concerned they weren't going to be ready. The other thing that hit me at the time was I went into the airport, and nobody even asked me for a passport. This is a center of terrorism in Europe. So, yes, there is concern, but you can die stepping off a curb. We've got to go on with this. The world doesn't stop because of terrorism.
Well, we're journalists. I mean, we have to go cover it. If there are war correspondents covering wars, we should go over there. We'll be there, okay? No, that's an important point to make. On the other hand, should we have an Olympics, Tony? 100 days, the benchmark before the Olympics, and this happens, it tells me it's too easy. I am very concerned about athletes, fans, the Olympic Games, the legacy of the Olympics. I'm afraid there is going to be an incident or 2 or 3, and I would urge the IOC to suspend the Games until next year.
Wow. Go ahead, Jackie.
Suspend the Games. I think that's a bit of an overreaction, and it is 100 days before the game, and that's why something like this can happen. I'm telling you right now that if any country that's going to participate in the Olympic Games has concerns about the security of the athletes, they'll take their own measures to make sure those athletes are safe. And I'm sure the USOC is also going to be heavily involved. This will be different than other Olympic Games in that they will not rely on the host country solely to take care of security.
Jackie,
it's clear
they are not ready over there. This shows me today they're not ready. The infrastructure isn't ready. What is wrong with being smart about this? Maybe think about 2005 in Sydney, Australia, where the infrastructure is in place. It's a safer place, Jack.
Jay, but Greece is what it is. What makes you think it'll be any different in 2005?
All right, Woody Page, you are going, Woody Page.
There was this same kind of talk before Australia. First of all, I went there, and it was very safe. Number 2, we didn't go to the Soviet Union in 1980, and what difference did that make? You move on with the game.
Something happened after Sydney, September the 11th, 2001, Woody.
All right, along with the security, though, we've seen pictures in the paper. Stadiums don't even have roofs right now. They're not ready for anything in Athens. Let's move on. The Wall Street Journal, a must-read in Woody Page's house, I'm sure, right after Shakespeare, right, Woody? They report today that Major League Baseball has inked a deal to place advertisements for the movie Spider-Man 2 on the field of play. The logo for the movie, wrapped inside a 7.5-inch spider web, will be placed on first base, second base, third base, as well as the pitcher's rubber and the on-deck circle. Guys, what do you make of advertising on the baseball field, Jackie Mack?
Listen, I'd like to tell you I don't like it, because of course I don't, but this is part of the 21st century. Everything is advertised. You know, the next time I come on this show, I'll probably have my forehead out for rent. It's just the way this country goes. And, I mean, it's too bad for the game of baseball, but how is it any different than all the other stuff that's all over the park?
Bob Costas puts it so well. He says, when it's convenient, baseball sells history, and then they'll sell out history and do something like this. Some things, Tony, are sacred. How about my infield? If you're going to keep baseball as your father's game and your grandfather's game and sell tradition, don't put Spider-Man on bases. That's ridiculous.
There are a lot more important issues in the world. We're fighting a war in Iraq, and you're worried about whether Spider-Man's web is going to be on second base.
You could say that about anything.
What do you want, Jay? The president?
Problems in baseball. How about those fake billboards that are back at the backstop behind home plate during the World Series?
It's all over the field. I don't buy this sacred stuff for 2 seconds there, Jay Mariotti. Home plate is still white. Doesn't mean anything to me. Has anybody asked the question, does this stuff actually work? Putting an ad for Spider-Man on first base, how can that possibly work? Elimination time. You're the low man, Jay Mariotti. See you later. Showdown time. It's Woody Page and Jackie McMullen. And coming up, has Brittany done something wrong to steal a guy whose ex-girlfriend is 7 months round? That's actually funny. Do that thing I like. All right, showdown time. Woody takes on Jackie Mack. Let's get it going. Leading off, Alex Rodriguez hit his 350th homer of his career Tuesday night in Oakland, becoming the youngest player in big league history to reach the plateau. He beat out Ken Griffey Jr. for the youngest mark by 16 days. So, guys, who would you rather have had for the first 10 years of his career, A-Rod or Griff? 15 seconds, Jackie, go.
Well, it seems unseemly to say you don't want you should take either one of these guys, but I'm going with A-Rod, and here's why. Played one of the most difficult positions in baseball, hit for power, hit for average, stole bases, a Gold Glove guy at shortstop, very difficult to do, and I think it's a better team
you have that
leader.
convenient memory that a lot of people do. You've forgotten that Ken Griffey was Barry Bonds. He was better than Barry Bonds in his first 10 years. He was incredible with Seattle before he started breaking down, having injury problems.
Terrific argument. I think A-Rod, though, was better at his peak. He won a batting crown one of the years. I'll give it to Jackie Mack. Let's move on. The New York Daily News drums it up for us today, and the paper reports that the Raiders and Bears are interested in recently released Giants QB Kerry Collins. Raiders coach Norv Turner still may not be sold on Rich Gannon, and the Bears need some insurance for Rex Grossman. Which offense is the better fit for Collins, Oakland or Chicago? 15 seconds. Give it to us, Woody.
If I'm Chicago, I'd bring Kerry Collins in because you don't know if Rex Grossman is able to take over full-time right now. The Raiders have already taken a look at Gannon since he's come back from his injury. They like him during the offseason. They're going to go with him full-time next year. You don't...
Well, Woody, thank you for stopping. Here's the thing here. With Gannon, you don't know how healthy he's going to be. You don't know if he can go the whole 3 year. Chicago's already made a commitment to Grossman. He's their quarterback of their future. They're going to let him go out there and play and make mistakes. If you're Kerry Collins, you want to play and you have a better chance in Oakland.
It's a great thing to say Grossman's the quarterback of the future. If Kerry Collins gets there, he'll be the quarterback of the present. I think Chicago's the fit. Good job, Woody. And finally, the Phillies discovered a new way to lose. Pat Burrell swung and missed on a wild pitch with the bases loaded, but got gunned out from the backstop by Mike Matheny to end the game. Meanwhile, Mark Mulder blew a 6-run lead to the Yankees last night as the A's lost for the 8th time in their last 10 games. Which team is more likely to right the ship, the Phillies or the A's? 30 seconds for the game. Jackie, go.
I'm going to take the Phillies. I think they're going to settle right in. They were picked in the early in the year. Oakland worries me, and I think they should worry everybody. Their closer is in my town, Boston, taking care of things for Boston. And Zito looks very shaky to me, a guy that won 20 a couple of years ago, but hasn't looked all that terrific ever since.
Big Mac, I got to disagree with you again. You've got Oakland with a 12-13 record. They're right at the cusp of 500. They got Zito. They got Mulder. You know they're going to right the ship with that pitching staff. They do year after year after year. It's a playoff team. We know that.
Hey, Woody, go start Cinco de Mayo a little bit early. The winner today is Jackie Mack.
Bye, Woody.
15 seconds of yours. Go.
Okay, here's the thing. There were 4,001 fans at Olympic Stadium to watch the Expos play the other night. Here's my solution for that team. Bring them down overweight to Massachusetts. Let's set them up down in Foxborough. They can be our National League team. Red Sox tickets are impossible. I know, because everybody's asking for them.
Just what we need. Another team in New England. That's going to do it, folks. We're in a 23-and-a-half-hour break. We'll see you tomorrow around the Horn.
Her because she's a girl.
No, I didn't. I just because she mocked
Around the Horn is a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For up-to-the-minute sports information, log on to ESPN.com.
You got to bring the meat, Woody. You didn't bring it today.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Tony, it's Cinco de Mayo. You doing anything special to celebrate?
Tony Kornheiser. No, nothing special.
A beautiful sombrero. Where'd you get that?
It is very beautiful. It weighs about 25 pounds. Basically crushing my head.
That beautiful purple felt, one of my favorite colors.
Very
purple.
nice. So I had to chase a guy 20, 30 blocks and get it. Welcome to PTI, muchachos y muchachas. In today's episode, is Barry Bonds serious about retiring? Is baseball selling out by putting ads on the bases? And does Eli Manning have the brains for the NFL? We begin with Barry Bonds, who did not play last night against the Mets, but who had plenty to say to the writers, including that he might retire after the 2005 season. Bonds said, quote, "I want to leave. I want to do something else," unquote. He said he didn't need to hit 755 homers, even if he was up to 750. Well, Bond, if he wants to do something else, why doesn't he leave now and go do it?
Well, I don't think he wants to do something else now. I think he's looking to the point, and he can see the point fairly clearly, and Will Chill want to do something else. Look, I mean, I've talked to Barry Bonds. I don't know him very well, and I don't cover baseball, but I've talked to him socially a few times, and he will tell you flat out, as he's told me, He does this because he's good at it. He's compensated for it. He doesn't want to hang around forever, and he's worried about his body. He's got bone on bone with his knees. He can't throw like he used to. He's got to set a pretty hard bar for himself. Can't perform physically to that bar anymore.
Barry Bonds grew up in baseball. His father played baseball.
Yep.
He's going to have an appreciation for baseball records more so than anybody else out there other than Ken Griffey Jr., right? Because he grew up in it.
He's got to want the
Are you
record.
telling me that if he gets to 750, he's just going to walk?
I don't believe
Nobody
that.
believes
I don't
that. Not even him.
But here's what I know. Here's what I believe.
Right.
Because he said it to me. He wonders whether he can even get to that point.
Okay.
And he said that on the record plenty of times. Physically, how do you do that? He doesn't want to just pinch hit. He doesn't particularly want to just DH. He wants to play the full game every day.
He also said that half of what he says, even he doesn't believe.
That's the key.
And some years back, he said when he got to 500 homers and 500 stolen bases, he'd walk. He's over.
I've got to think he'll want to do this. If he can physically do it, he will.
You know why he'll want to do it? Because he grew up in a sport that venerates records. They're legitimate records, and he's going to hold
the biggest record there is. 3 bombs were detonated in Athens earlier this morning, underscoring the worst fears about securing the Summer Olympic Games in Greece, scheduled to begin in exactly 100 days on August 13. Nobody was injured, though property was destroyed, including at police headquarters. Government officials in Athens are quoted as saying the bombings are not related to the Olympics. But Tony, even if that's true, does it matter?
Well, I don't think that it's true, but no, it doesn't matter. You have a situation where for years the most notorious airport in the Western world was in Athens, where terrorists infiltrated it all the time.
That's right.
The venues are not finished, so that you can't secure them because they're not finished. You don't have a blueprint to go in and see what's going on. Now,
and you don't know who else, by the way, has the blueprint.
Let me make this personal. You're going to Athens.
Yeah.
Are you scared of this?
No, not today. I'm sitting here 100 days out. No.
Right.
And to be fair about this, I've attempted to talk to security experts, people who are dealing with this in Athens and about the world, and they say, you know what? This is going to be as safe as it can be, though we cannot promise 100% safety. You can't. Athens you couldn't receive. I'm sorry, Atlanta, you couldn't receive that promise.
There was a bomb in Atlanta.
Of course, there was a bomb in Atlanta.
We have been to a lot of Olympics between us, and security at most of these Olympics is fabulous. Ever since 1972, ever since Munich, the security is heavy. It is prevalent.
Even in Los Angeles,
right
20 years ago.
But Athens, when they announced that Athens would get the Olympics, a lot of people, me included, thought that was a bad idea, that you couldn't secure it in the way that you could secure L.A., you'd think.
And the world has become so much more volatile, particularly that part of the world.
You would have thought you could have secured New York City, and 9/11 proved that you couldn't do that. There's no such thing as 100% security. Tim Floyd didn't win Game 7 last night. Stan Van Gundy did. The Heat move on to play the Indiana Pacers, and there is a shakeup going on in New Orleans. Bob Bass, the Hornets general manager, the guy who's picked all the personnel there since 1995, is stepping down. And Wilbon, you seem to think that your boy Tim Floyd is gone.
Well, it's not what I think. I mean, look, I've spent all season plus saying I didn't think Tim Floyd ever deserved to leapfrog more worthy candidates to get that gig. So I'm not backing off that. From the people I talked to in the NBA and doing some reporting, it seems to me, it's my understanding from them, that Tim Floyd's not going to be back. And that franchise, by the way, moving into the Western Conference next year, how much harder is their task
without Jamal Mashburn if he can't come back?
That's right.
Bob Bass, you know how long he's been in professional basketball?
How long? You're going to tell me.
He was in the ABA. You know, he coached the Miami Floridians. He coached the Memphis Tams. He's in his 70s. That's a really long time.
Yeah.
Well, props. Stan Van Gundy wins the battle of the Van Gundys. He's still playing.
5-15 after going 0-7, 5-15. To be fair, they do have some players,
yes,
Tony,
they do.
But they're all young, unaccomplished. For them to win Game 7.
I don't think Grant is. Grant's not
okay, I take it you're right. Brian Grant had some success in Portland.
And Odom and Karan Butler are young players.
Very young players.
Jones isn't a young player.
Jones isn't, but it's been a while since he was in big playoffs.
You give them any chance against Indiana? Any? None. Zero. No.
It's hard to do. It's hard to justify saying I would. The enduring visual from the NHL playoffs has to be this hit. Toronto's Darcy Tucker on Philly's Sammy Kapanen that leaves Kapanen disoriented, struggling, and crawling for the Flyers bench.
Struggling.
Look at this. Teammate Jeremy Roenick, who scored the game winner about 40 seconds later, said that Kapanen's willingness to fight his way. He's fighting his way back to the bench. This allowed play continue.
He can't get over.
And it allowed the goal to be scored, Tony. He did show amazing toughness, which leads me to ask you this. are hockey players the toughest of all athletes?
Well, the winning goal was scored by Jeremy Roenick, and about 3 months ago, his face exploded.
Shattered. Shattered.
Lost his entire face.
We saw Stevie Y the other night.
Yeah.
Bam in the face.
Are they the toughest athletes? You will never get me to say that they're tougher than boxers who, without any protection at all, get hit in the head. But for team sports, I mean, I don't, rugby, that's a foreign sport to me. I don't know. But hockey,
football,
let me tell you,
got to be pretty tough to play football,
when I used to cover sports for a living, I used to get on planes with hockey teams, and in the middle of the night when they'd be asleep and you'd be going somewhere, their faces were purple.
Shining. Always something shining.
Bleeding all the time. And the next night, what did they do? They went out and played again.
But you know what?
I think they're the toughest
Teams
guys.
have brought in boxers to show hockey players how to fight. And what invariably happens?
Boxers knock them out.
Yeah.
Boxers
Something to be said for that.
Major League Baseball has announced that in conjunction with the release of the film Spider-Man 2, the Spider-Man logo will appear on bases, not home plate, but bases and the on-deck circle. Baseball is getting money for this, Wilbon, for renting out its bases one weekend in June. How much does this bother you?
Well, it's cheesy, it seems to me. It bothers me, but I'm not going to rail on against it or go into a rant. It seems the world is going this way. I mean, I was at one of those fights when I can't remember who the fighter was, had goldenpalace.com. It may not have been the first time, but it was the first time I'd seen it. It was stenciled. And then after that, the jockeys just
NASCAR
and won. NASCAR tennis players.
NASCAR, they wear everything all over themselves.
Yeah,
tennis players, golfers wear patches.
Sure.
Baseball wears baseball patches. When Fox does baseball games, they sell out behind home plate and put ads in. ESPN sells every inch of every single thing they got. So it's very hard to be very critical here just to this one thing in baseball. This is the rest of the world. What I don't want to hear, deliver me from guys who talk about the purity of baseball, then have their own television shows and sell themselves on every street corner. I want to hear that.
The other sports do this. They either superimpose something. Baseball is going to have something actually on the field to play.
Did you see the logo?
Cheesy
it's
to
a
me.
little spider thing.
Don't put it in the field of play.
Where should they put
have it outside
on their head?
The foul lines? No, not in the field of play. Come on.
Come on. You'd sell your soul for a buck and a half.
I would, as long as I get the buck and a half. Did you see this incident from Pleasantville, New Jersey, where a junior high school basketball coach named James Guillen presented a 13-year-old kid with a Crybaby Award, a trophy with an infant on all fours, at the year-end team banquet.
A public banquet.
The kid was so humiliated, he didn't go to school the next day. The Guillen, a special education teacher no less, has been relieved of his coaching duties, but is still teaching. Is the punishment severe enough in this case?
He should never coach again, and he should be fired from his job as a teacher, or at least reassigned to another school district, but I would say fired. He set this up. He called the kid's house to make sure the kid was coming to the banquet.
Lied to him.
Said he had a special award for him. This is traumatizing for the kid and disgraceful.
Now,
it's a disgrace that this teacher did.
I don't want to see him banned from coaching. I don't want to see him fired from his teaching job. What I wanted to see, and it's a little bit too late unless we want to go retroactive, I want to see a father or uncle go caveman. They should have walked right up in the banquet, okay, and started swinging on this sucker with both fists and beat him down. That's what he deserved. Swift justice.
How dare you do this to a 13-year-old kid? Whether you think he's a whiner or not, how dare you traumatize a young kid? You're a special ed teacher.
He claimed that it worked on him. A teacher used it as a coach on him when he was young. This guy's 24 years old. He's not even like 65.
Doesn't mean it would work on anybody else. Get him out of here.
Ridiculous.
We're taking a break. When we come back, we will ask Reggie Miller just how badly he wants a championship. And later, Pedro says he's no longer speaking to the media. Is that a good idea?
Pedro can't stop talking, can he?
Pardon the interruption. Presented by Guinness Draft Stout. Drink responsibly. Brilliant. And in part by Ford. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again. And TGI Fridays, who reminds you to try their 9 delicious Atkins-approved menu items.
Reggie Miller has been a star for years and has been on some really good Pacers teams, but has never won an NBA championship. This year, the Pacers have the best record in the league and walked through their first-round series. We welcome Reggie Miller to the program. The obvious question, does this feel like the year?
Well, every year feels like the year, but to win 61 games, I think it will all go for naught if obviously we don't at least get to the NBA Finals. And once you get to the Finals, anything is possible. But, you know, coming off an 11-day layoff between the Boston series and going into it's going to be a very physical series against Miami starting tomorrow, you know, we're going to have our hands full.
You've been in the finals. You've had some of the most electrifying moments ever in the playoffs. I was there when you hit all those jump shots against the Knicks with about 4
Thanks
seconds.
for the high fives. Thanks for the high fives.
No, that was fabulous. Having said that, is winning a championship critical to you, or is that overplayed with an athlete who does not necessarily win one?
Well, I would say it's critical in my standpoint because I've been close so many times. I think, you know, for an athlete never to gotten to the Eastern Conference Finals or even to the finals, but they've had a great career, maybe they can say that. But I've been close so many times, and I want to win a championship. So it would mean a lot to me. And yeah, probably deep down, it'll probably always grind at me if I don't get it, just for the simple fact I've been close so many times. If I've never been close to it, then I wouldn't worry about it. But when you get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I've been there maybe half a dozen times and to the finals once, you know, that's kind of close to actually tasting the bub. So yeah. It would mean something to me.
Reggie, you mentioned those teams. They were great players. They were great teams, epic playoff series. But is this possibly the best Pacers team you've ever played on?
You know, that's a hard question, Mike, because that 2000 team was really special. We were much more veteran-led. You know, Mark Jackson, the two, Dale Davis, Rick Smits, and Chris Mullin. So, you know, we had a very veteran ball club. This year's team is the young guns, and even though they play hard, I don't think this team is as smart as the team in 2000, but we play much more harder and we're much more physical, and our defense is much more better.
The generation that you came in with, or that you were most associated with, almost all of those people are out of the league right now. Karl Malone is still in the league, but most of those guys are gone. You're not gone. Do you feel old? When you look around at the people you play with,
kids,
and you look around at the guys who have left, do you ever say to yourself, what am I doing here?
Look, if I was the 12th man on a team and I wasn't playing, I probably would. But I'm a starter. I play 30 to 35 minutes a game, and I'm counted on to make big shots and contribute to my team. So do I feel old? No. They use me here in a way that I've kept my body in great physical shape. I work out all the time. But if I was stealing on the end of the bench, yeah, I probably would feel old. But, you know, I'm earning my money.
All right, well, let me do this as a follow-up. Do you ever feel at this point overlooked and not given the credit you should have for the longevity and the maintained level of excellence after all those years?
You know, that's not for me to comment on. That's for the fans, the media, and obviously other people to make their own assessment. All I know is I wake up every morning. I'm still blessed to be playing this game. I am surrounded by great young talent that has put me in a position to win 61 ball games, move on right now to the second round, and have a chance to compete against the Miami Heat and hopefully move on to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Reggie, there are as many as 12 high school kids who are entering this year's draft. Could be more than that. It really is. And you play with 3 high school guys who are obviously accomplished players right now, but you're also a veteran. You see guys like Charles Oakley, all of a sudden veteran players are sort of being moved out, high school kids coming in. What do you think about the notion of an age limit in terms of coming into the NBA?
Well, I think it's watering down our product. When you have high school kids coming in and, you look, the last 20 years, there's only been one that's really made a huge impact as soon as he came in, and that was LeBron last year.
Right.
KG took some time, Kobe took some time, Tracy took some time. But they've all budded into superstars, obviously, and I think that's what these young kids are looking at. But you're asking these kids a whole lot to come in and perform right now. And veterans aren't taking it lightly. But I wish there was an age limit, but if you could tell them to go off to war, they can come make money.
Thank you, Reggie.
Thanks, Reggie.
Appreciate it, guys.
Reggie Miller, boys and girls. We're taking a break, but when we come back, does Eli Manning have the wrong brain type to succeed in the NFL?
Who decided that?
Doctor.
Dr. Vinny Boombox? Who?
Yes, Dr. Vinny Boombox.
Dr. Feelgood?
He's the one. Put away the Andro, kids. It's time for Heads on Sticks. Let's get started. Mike, you give, I will receive.
All right, Tony, here's the first one. Do you know who you are?
Yeah, just
You're Manny Ramirez. Indians pitcher Jason Davis was upset with you for posing after hitting one out last night. Johnny Damon says you've earned the right to pimp like that. Has anyone really earned the right to pimp?
I probably shouldn't have done this. I hated when Albert Bell used to flex after hitting a home run, but come on. Do you see how far I took this ball? I mean, it would have gone 500 feet if the stands don't get in the way. The left fielder didn't even move on this ball.
Hands didn't leave his knees.
Didn't even move. So, I mean,
His
give me a
left
break
fielder
on
showed
this.
him up.
Football players, they get in the end zone. 20 guys come around, do a dance. Basketball players chest bump all the time. Play to the crowd. I hit it so. Don't I have to? I hit it. How far I hit it?
You killed it.
I killed it.
Like that pimp walk you had.
Killed it.
Who's next? Who am I?
Just killed it. Let's see who you are. You are the glove.
Oh.
Gary Payton.
I'm Gary. I'm
Are
GP.
you being set up as the fall guy for the Lakers?
Yeah.
Will you be back with the team next season?
Yeah, I'm probably being set up as a fall guy. They bring me in knowing exactly what I do because I was doing it for 14 years. I need the ball in my hands. I got to go down in the post and post up. I could have posted up that little sucker Tony Parker
He's
in
killing
game
you.
1. I could have posted up Stevie Franchise. He's killing me because he's
killing
young
you.
and he's fast and we're in the open court. They don't play to my strengths. I'm a team guy, though. I'm trying to go with Phil's
You're
triangle.
getting 7 points a game.
People didn't go crazy when Michael broke the triangle. Kobe breaks the triangle. Let me post that
Didn't you
little
think it
sucker
would
up.
be easier than this?
I knew it would
Aren't
be
you like
hard.
a fish out of water
Yes,
with the
I
Lakers?
am, but I sacrificed because I want to win the championship. I want to win.
It's not doing any good.
Oh, GP, let him
It's
post
not
up Tony
doing any
Parker a little
good.
bit. Tony, you're Eli Manning.
Yeah.
Brain typing Dr. Jonathan Neednagel says your brain type is not as good as your brother's. How do you feel about that?
How does he know what my brain type is? I've never
Neednagel
met
knows
this
all.
guy. We've never had a conversation. What did you do? Did he take a picture of me off
Brain
the internet?
scan. Got
and
brain
then he just
scan.
looked at it? He says that I don't have the same brain type as my brother Peyton, as Brett Favre, as Johnny Unitas, Dan Marino, John Elway. Those guys are great quarterbacks. But Steve Young didn't have that brain type. Did he win?
He won.
Did Tom Brady doesn't have that brain type? Did he win?
Twice already.
Where does this doctor get his degree from? You know what I'd like to see with this doctor? Here's his brain type. He's a loud-mouthed doofus. I'd like to be in
You're
a room
in
with
so
him.
much under so much
I'd like
pressure
to fire
already.
some
You got to chill
at
out,
him
Eli.
and hit him right in the mouth.
Dude, you got to chill out. You are in enough trouble already.
guy's
The
a
pressure
jerk.
got on you. Who am I?
You are Mike Martz.
Ooh.
Now that you've got Mark Bolger signed to a fat new contract, do you guarantee that there won't be a quarterback controversy in St. Louis for the next few
Nah,
seasons?
come on. You know I don't guarantee anything. Truth be told, I like a little creative tension around here. Look, we just signed Mark Bolger to a 4-year extension, $9 million signing bonus. We got 106-year-old Chris Chandler who can come in and give me 6, 7, 8 games and throw the ball accurately. And guess what? Kurt Warner, I can't get rid of him until June 1st. And we just drafted Jeff Smoker out of Michigan State. So I got 4
Wilburn
guys.
says
I like a little controversy. What does
Wilburn says your
Wilbon know?
players hate you.
Well, you know, they might
Wilburn
not like
says
me.
players come over to him and say he's a dope.
You know
keep
what?
ripping
Did
him.
I get them to the Super Bowl or not?
Are
Am
you
I
a genius?
Yes, I'm
Are you a genius,
I got
Mike?
the best offense anywhere.
You're
yes.
a genius. How many you won?
4 quarterbacks.
How many you won?
None, exactly.
Thank you.
Tony, you're Smarty Jones. Your trainer still doesn't know whether he'd let you run in the Preakness. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'd like to run. You know why I say that? I'm undefeated, which means nobody's ever beaten me, and I'm a horse, and I am bred, in fact, to run. I'd like to run in the Preakness because it's easier to get chicks if you've won the Derby and the Preakness. I'd like not to sit this out. I have looked at my calendar.
Chicks?
I got nothing to do in 2 Saturdays. I want to run the Preakness.
By the way, how do I know you're not man of war?
No.
Or secretary? What's
Because
the difference?
you can
What's the
look
difference
at
between
the
you
cover
and
of
any other
Sports
horse?
Illustrated this week, and you can see me. And this will hurt
Maybe
me.
they
By
got
the way,
it wrong.
if I don't run in the Preakness, this will hurt me for Sportsman of the Year. It'll hurt me when Kornheiser wants to vote me in the century's greatest
Which
heroes.
we know he's
number
silly
8.
enough to do.
Time for a break. Don't go
I had
anywhere.
a wilt.
Because we still got to talk about Wilbon's grossly premature burial of the Sacramento Kings.
Did I do that?
Yeah, I believe I had that.
I don't remember that.
I believe I did. I think this is that.
Pardon the interruption. Presented by Guinness Draft Stout. Drink responsibly. Brilliant. And in part by Nintendo. Who are you? And Wendy's new Chicken Temptations. It's better here.
Felicidades. Happy 78th birthday to Ann B. Davis, comedic character actress, best known for being Alice, the maid in the Brady Bunch, show I didn't watch. Also played Schultze, the housekeeper in the Bob Cummings show, a show I did watch.
She dated Sam the Butcher, but you never saw him like smooching or getting busy in the Burger King bathroom. You never saw that.
No,
you had to
probably
take
not.
for granted that she and Sam were getting it on somewhere.
A not-so-happy anniversary to Larry Eustace. On this day last year, you resigned as head basketball coach at Iowa State University. It's gotten better over the last year. Eustace, who declared himself an alcoholic, has gotten the head coaching job at Southern Mississippi.
Was that enough recovery time and enough time on probation for you for him getting back in the game?
I thought it was for him. On that case,
Short
I thought
amount of
it was.
time.
Happy trails to Pedro's relationship with the media. Pedro says he's done talking to the media for the rest of the season. This isn't the first time Pedro has cut the media off. Probably won't be the last time. The shame of it is Pedro's one of the great talkers and smart guys in all of sports.
God, you suck up to Pedro so much. I bet right now if you called and wanted to interview me, talk to you.
It's like you and Charles Oakley. Statboy says we're clean, so he's out of the show. You know, he should get his own show one of these days.
Thought he had one.
Let's go to the big finish.
Right before this.
The Kings beat the Wolves on the road. I thought you said the Kings were done.
I was stupid and I was premature. They seem to be getting themselves back together. Good for them. The Yankees have now won 7 straight and are tied for first place. Just pointing that out, Tom.
Yes, and they will get to the playoffs, as was said over here.
Okay.
Dr. J is interested in the Raptors GM job. Is that a good fit?
Maybe, but how about going back and getting this old Philly team together a little bit? You can,
So
use
you want to get rid of Billy King?
He and Billy King can't work together? A little help? Wisconsin point guard Devin Harris is going pro. Good move?
If he waits, there might not be any more high school kids next year. He'd be a senior. I mean, if he waits, it might pay off.
Help him.
Last one, Morgan Fairchild is on Denver Norville tonight. You going to watch?
Ahead of Lakers Spurs.
Yeah.
Nuts.
We're out of time. Try and do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
And I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow. Sports Center is next. The Lakers are looking to get even in Game 2 tonight.
PTI loves Morgan Fairchild.
He does.
Loves her.
Yeah.